So you want to marry a Dominican woman, a Dominicana. Let me give you the pros and cons. Before anybody gets hasty, understand that they're the way I have viewed it and what I have seen. It doesn't necessarily be the way that you have seen it or the way you have viewed it. Because we all view things differently and we all have different interests. Let me start off by the amazing things of the Dominican woman. She will be passionate. She will be kind. She will be caring. She will be in your face to give you all the love that you need. When you go out with her and barely even know her, she's already excited to introduce you to her family. This is an amazing thing because I've been to other countries in Latin America and it can sometimes take up to 6 months before she even tells her family she found a gringo. Not the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic, they'll do all they can to get you to see their family. Maybe because they're so proud of their family, maybe because they love their family, maybe because they want to intertwine your connection with their family because they consider their family part of them. This is an amazing thing for me and what makes me love Dominican women so much. Sometimes in the past in other countries, I felt a little bit uncomfortable when I found out that her friends in her family didn't even know that I existed. Well, it won't be like that with a Dominicana. You're going to know them and they're going to treat you really well as though they've known you their entire life. They will treat you with hospitality that you've never seen. Sometimes, and most of the time, you might be going to a neighborhood that's a little bit on the rougher side. Embrace it, live with it, don't show it any fear. With that being said, if she does invite you to a rougher area, don't start walking around with your phone out in the air and hanging your money out. You're just looking for trouble. As we say in Colombia, no da papaya. What I do love about the Dominican women also is their beautiful tans, that natural, beautiful brown skin. Not every Dominican has brown skin, but most do. And if you like that bronzeado look, the Dominican Republic is for you. We do have a little bit of issue in the long term with them if you're going to marry them because they do like to eat, which means their blood glucose could be a little bit higher. So you probably want to keep an eye on it. Even if you're a person who likes rounder, voluptuous, shapely women, we still have to take care of their blood glucose level. We don't need them to be on insulin or metformin. So if they're 22 years old and they're already 20 pounds overweight by BMI, you're going to need to probably put them on a keto diet or the carnivore diet, or at least teach them how to bounce back and forth. I can show you how to do that. You can send me messages in my inbox. So it'd be more of a cyclical keto. So they'll be running, carbohydrates in their meals for like a few weeks, and then a few weeks they'll just run keto. It is hard, and I'll tell you an amazing story. I'm dear friends with an amazing woman in Guadicano, Santo Domingo. I invite her over to eat, and I said, listen, you need to knock a few pounds off. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make hamburger wraps, and we're going to wrap it in lettuce, and we're going to put all kinds of vegetables in there. We'll put cheese in there. It's going to taste great. And we're not going to have soda. We're going to have bottled water. And I brought some Crystal Light, so it's going to take, the water's going to be flavored. It's going to taste really good. Crystal Light has no calories. She says, oh, wonderful. Say, está bien, amor. They're always a está bien. So everything's always okay. And when she gets there, she has this, a larger pocketbook, purse, as they say in English. Bostonians, we call it a pocketbook. And I see her every once in a while sneaking her hand into the purse. Like, what the heck's she doing while we're eating? I look in there, she has salchipapas in there. So she has French fries in there with mayonnaise on there, mustard on there, ketchup, all these sauces. I'm like, that's not part of the keto diet. She starts laughing, I start laughing. You got to take it with a grain of salt. Getting them off carbohydrates is going to be a tough thing. They also do love soda. She snuck a Coca-Cola in her bag. I'm like, you're smuggling carbohydrates into my house? What are you, taquero? And, it was a good laughs, but, it's going to be a work in progress. The next thing you're going to have to worry about. In the Dominican Republic, there is a ton of cheating going on. Not just Dominicans cheating on their American boyfriends, but Dominicans cheating on other Dominicans. And I'm a mathematical guy. I do a technical analysis on everything. So when some Dominican woman says, all Dominican men, all they do is cheat, I say to myself, well, are they heterosexual? Well, who do you think they're cheating on them? Who do you think they're going out with? Other women. It's a small country. They're all cheating on each other. They have these places called cabanas and also rent by the hour hotels. And these hotels are making a killing. On top of that, I've interviewed other people in the Dominican Republic, and I said, what's your situation? She says, well, I see this guy on the side, and it's very fresco. And I'm like, what do you mean it's fresco? Well, he has a wife, but we fool around in his car. I'm like, you could get arrested for that. You can't. No, we find a good place to park. And then sometimes we go outside to fool around, and it's romantic. I'm like, romantic? You can get in trouble for that over here. She's like, I know, that makes it more amazing. And I'm like, how are you gonna? She said, no, it has to be we have to kind of rush through it, but it's still something really. I really like it and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a very hedonistic behavior going on in this country. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the country is doing this, but a high percentage of people, it's so in my face. Maybe because they're telling me, because I'm an extranjero, I'm a gringo, and people think that it's not going to get back to the rest of to other Dominicans. But so many guys I know, they're all cheating on their significant other, whether it may be a wife, a girlfriend, or a amante. They're cheating on all of them with other women. And it's not like every Tuesday. It's like a vez en cuando. A vez en cuando is like here and there. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like all the time. They'll message each other. And another big problem in Latin America is all this ability to hook up with other people, because they have there's so many different options because of Instagram, TikTok, and WhatsApp, and then the texting, and people lock their phones so the spouse can't see it. It's a little bit out of control. If you can deal with that, you can love a Dominican woman. With that being said, it does make me highly uncomfortable to be with them. I'd almost want one of those ankle bracelets on them that also has a camera and also has a audio, because it's that crazy. It does get off the chain. And again, Dominicans, I'm not saying every person. I'm just saying a lot of people are doing this. And if you take out your emotions out of it, close your eyes and think back of how many people are doing this, you'll be like, oh God, he's right. Because it's happening a lot. And I'm sorry to tell you, it could be happening to you as well. Those cabanas are full. They're so full, people aren't even wasting their time going in there. They're fooling around in their cars and in outside areas. I didn't ask her where they go outside. But there's a lot. She says there's a lot of people her age doing it. It's just kind of way. It's way too over the top for me. With that being said, they are alluring. You can fall in love with them so quickly. On a good note, they'll text you in the morning. They'll text you in the night. They'll video call you. I mean, they're just. If you're a person who likes somebody up your butt all the time, I love it. I love somebody. ¿Dónde vas? I want to go with you. And I love that. And they're very passionate. They touch your hair and giggle and have all that fun stuff. And another thing, don't think that all of them are out for your money. They're out for a small portion of it, because that's natural for the female to obtain your resources. With that being said, when a woman in the Dominican Republic loves you, and you just take her out and buy her some food, or pay for her Uber and send her home with some money to put some food in the refrigerator, $20 or whatever. They're happy. They don't as long as they love you. If they're trying to work you, they're gonna go for more money. But if they love you and you pay for their Uber and throw them a couple bucks to put some food, for their get their kids some school supplies or something, they'll love you to death. It can be literally a very economical relationship, because as men know, me included, dating is not cheap in 2025. Women watch all these things on Instagram and they want everything that every other woman wants. And what happens? You know where that's coming from? You. Because it's not coming out of their pocket, because the girls that I date, all their money is pretty much to pay for their rent. They're splitting rent between like five other family members. Then they got to buy their own food. Then they got to take care of their kid. And, it never ends. So I don't mind when she needs a little bit of economical help, as long as within reason. I'm not a rich guy. I'm a regular guy. So if I put $20 in her refrigerator or $20 worth of school supplies every time she visits me, what do I care? That's nothing. And that's instead of going out on a restaurant. No, we'll stay in. We'll cook on our own. I'll buy the food. We'll hang out here. We'll chill. We'll watch novellas. Or we can just walk around Malecon. We can do something simple. Or we can walk around, do something cost efficient. It doesn't always have to be something expensive. And then once in a while, if you want to splurge and take her somewhere nice, of course you should. You're a man. Be a man. You don't want to be too cheap. You got to spend a little. Take her to the mall, buy her a shirt, buy her a pair of pants, buy her a pair of shoes, whatever you got to do. She'll love you for it. With that being said, if she's really out to chop your money, chapear tu plata, then you have to really be careful and get rid of her right away, block her. One way you're going to know if she's a chapeadora. Here's what she's going to come to your house. She's going to say, oh, I need to get a babysitter. You need to pay for the babysitter. Oh, I also need money for this. I also need money for that. This is all on the first date. Then she gets to your house. She starts looking through your stuff, your cream on your face. Oh, can I have this? And then she walks over to your suitcase and she pulls a hat out and she puts your hat on and says, oh, can I have this? No, she's stepping over the line. Those are your things. Especially if it's on like the first or second date. That's a bad sign. That's a bad, lock all your stuff up and let her see you lock it up so that she knows you feel uncomfortable with it. Be able to have a lock on your suitcase. Put all your stuff in there. Put a lock on it, and make sure your money's in there too. Because when you go into the bathroom, she's gonna skim you. With that type of girl. I have seen many times that women skim your money, not the whole amount. They just skim small amounts off you every time you go into the bathroom. I've seen this. I've recorded it. And it was a sad situation for me that when I did see this was about 20 years ago. It broke my heart. Someday I'm going to do a video about it. I don't want to do a video about it because she's a police officer in Colombia now. She changed her whole life around. She was young and stupid when she did it. She apologized for the whole thing. And I don't even want to, bring that up. But it did happen when she was 19 years old. And if I ever, took that the distance, she would have never been able to become a police officer. And now she's a really good person. And although I haven't been in contact with her in a couple years, I know for a fact she's a nice person. She comes from a wonderful family. But this is something that also can happen in the Dominican Republic, even though it happened to me in Colombia. So these are the good things and the bad things I love about Dominican women. Their strong libidos is always a positive, because I'm Italian and I also have a strong libido. And when that matches, God made our libido so that we could put up with each other. Because here's the way I look at it. If we didn't have that amazing physical attraction towards one another, we probably wouldn't want to put up with each other so much, because the things that come out of our mouth in their eyes are ridiculous, and the things that come out of their mouth a lot of the time we think are ridiculous. But the fact that we're so physically attracted to each other, we will put up with it. And how do you know this? When two people fight and all of a sudden they have a physical romantic situation, and all of a sudden we both look at each other and just laugh and be like, that was nothing. We shouldn't have even been fighting. That's because of that connection that God gave us between one another. And you will have that with a Dominican woman, because the passion will be 100%. And if you like that type of thing, Dominican women are best for you. And again, you're going to have to keep an eye on their weight, because they are hambrientas. They love to eat. And they tease me about it too. They're like, I love to eat so much. I don't know what to do. I'm like, don't worry. I'll get you on the keto. We're going to work things out. It doesn't work out so well. It's kind of a little bit of it's a struggle. It's a sparring session, if you know what I'm saying. But it works out. They're wonderful people. I mentioned all the things you're going to have to keep an eye out on. And I mentioned all the things that I love. And if you do marry a Dominican woman, please send me a message in my comments, because that will make me really happy, because in my eyes, they're amazing women. Thank you so much.